I'd like to call the June 14th, 2023 meeting of the Ogden Town Board to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd ask that you remain standing for a moment of silent reflection and prayer for our military servicemen and women serving around the world, as well as for our first responders. Thank you. Okay, welcome to everybody. The Ogden Town Board meeting here. We have no presentations or proclamations today, so we'll start with approval of the minutes.
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Hinman.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Baker. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next, we have privilege of the floor. Is there anyone here that wishes to address the board at this time? Hearing none, I will close privilege of the floor. Reports and remittances from town officers is Resolution 182.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Councilman Baker, seconded by Councilman Toms. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next, Town Audits Resolution 183.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Gerbino, seconded by Councilman Hinman. Any discussion on this? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. There were some good trainings, some requirements that were met, some really good things done by the Highway Department, the Police Department, as it related to the Fireman's Carnival. There's letters in your folder for that. Just wanted to bring those to your attention. And next we'll have reports from town officers. Congratulations first goes to Councilman Toms on his recent retirement.
Yeah, thank you.
Congrats. Also wanted to wish everybody a happy Father's Day coming up a little bit early. Couple of great things that went on in the last couple weeks here. Great Eagle Scout ceremony, 6 individuals from Spencerport Troop 165 this past weekend. Certificates of achievement were presented on behalf of the town. This one's wild. We took a trip to go see this new thing called solar grazing. Clerk Burley, Sue Dugan, and Christian and myself, we went and we looked at the solar facility on Whittier Road and what they do to kind of, lower cost, preservation, grazing, whatever it is. They have a whole bunch of sheep that go into these large solar fields and they eat the grass underneath it, and they through the process of eating and digesting, make the soil better. And it is something to see. We should all take a field trip. It's pretty incredible. And this is something that happens nationally. I think it's just starting in our area, and Ogden's one of the first, if not the first, that I'm aware of. And so that was wild.
There's no exposed wires from the shoes there.
No, that was an interesting part of the situation, is that not only do they not do that, but they won't eat specific types of grass. And so that's actually led to a conversation regarding even our planning board and what we might suggest for the type of grass or the type of things to go into these fields, because they won't eat certain grass that have seeds during certain seasons. It's crazy. It's wild. Okay, let's see. Nicole Dobson, Clerk Burley, and myself all completed the Junior Achievement Program at Munn Elementary. That was really awesome. I'm grateful to be a part of that this year. DARE graduations are going on. I know Officer Lindauer did an amazing job stepping into that DARE role, and I know Chief Gray is super proud of him and very happy for the program that we have. I know the school is thrilled that this program is back. As I said in the pre-meeting, the town had a financial audit conducted. We're supposed to do it every 2 years. We will have little bit of a conversation and work session after the regular meeting with the company that conducted the audit. The town assessor will also be speaking with us after the regular session regarding the calendar and commercial assessments as well. The county RFP went out for broadband services. I know a number of us were part of that conversation with the county. It's on their website if anyone wants to review it, but it's out right now, and that's just the next step of the process. The town is continuing to donate and sponsor the summer concert series in conjunction with the Village of Spencerport. That starts on June 18th. And we also will continue to sponsor the Spencerport Canal Days, which is July 29th and 30th, if anybody wants to. It'd be great to attend those. On the agenda tonight, we have updates for the town's procurement policy as well as the employee handbook. Tremendous amount of work took place in order to get them to this point, and they're for your consideration tonight. The emergency preparedness plan is continuing to be reviewed, and we hope to have that in front of the board pretty soon. As part of that, we've been working with the school district for a while, actually, and Todd did a great job kind of shoving this into the forefront. An MOU with the school district. The school district would like to use Town Hall for an emergency media location. They're also offering designated areas at the school district as a sheltering station. The last time this happened, I think last year, it was kind of a hot mess. We talked to the school district. Certain individuals were unaware that they had generators at the school, which was interesting. And Chief Mears did a great job kind of helping us in case we needed that facility, but this would be an MOU with the district, so we just know it's available. There's no money exchange, there's just an understanding. And I think that's a great step in collaboration with the school district. Okay, that is it for me. Councilman Baker.
Thank you. You alluded to the Fireman's Carnival last week. I can say in two capacities, one as a council member and two as a vice president of the Firemen's Association, working with Chief Gray, Sergeant Chad Richards, and Special Police Chief Zambuto. It was an absolute pleasure to work with them throughout this whole process. They were instrumental in our pre-planning for our incident action plan. Even during the first day of Carnival, which was on a Wednesday, we had to make some really hard decisions as far as at least postponing the event for that day due to the air quality issues that had arisen. But through it all, just working with the Ogden Police Department, with the Highway Department, and keeping things safe really paid off. There's a couple things that are going to be as part of our after-action report that we're going to start exploring to try to maybe get the town a little bit more involved. I know that our fire police, we're looking to see if the town has any assets as far as signage that we could post for parade participants on where to go and exit and enter and all that stuff. So there's some definite good things that we can work on. But I was very pleased with just the amount of cooperation and collaboration that we had with our police department and all our partners, really. So hats off to everybody. And it was a very safe event. Like I said, other than that Wednesday, that just kind of threw a little, wrench into our plans. But yeah, it was good. So thank you very much for that. That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Gerbino.
Nothing to report.
Okay. You don't want to talk about your new role in the town audits?
Negative. Sir.
I will say on your behalf, it is an eye-opening experience to see just how much work goes into that, is it not?
Yeah, I commend the folks who deal with that every day, Brian and Sharon, and yeah, it's an eye-opener, no question about that.
Very good. Councilman Hinman.
Have a planning meeting tomorrow. We're gonna be discussing the project there on the corner of 31 and 259. Also gonna be discussing, Gizzy's project over on Whittier and Buffalo Road. That's it.
Very good. Councilman Toms?
Yeah, I attended the Rotary meeting this past week, and one of the big fundraiser events that they have coming up on August 12th is a golf tournament that's over at Timber Ridge, up on Ridge Road. I dropped off the form to Supervisor Zell earlier today. But those of us who are members of the Rotary are asked if we could help with some of the things going on there, to help with the auction of stuff. They have a Chinese auction for donations and stuff from vendors, other businesses around the town, and they also sell 50/50 tickets, things like that. So anybody that has that day free that can spend a few hours over there would be appreciated. That's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Dan Wolf, Highway Superintendent.
We're waiting for a while for gas meters for our pump stations, for two of them. I don't know why RG&E can't get us, gas meters, and it's pretty sad. We got two pump stations up for generators, and we can't put them on because we got no gas meters. One of my trucks was involved in an accident. It's up roughly around $10,000 damage. One of my guys hit a light pole in the middle of a parking lot, and it right in front of the driver's seat. How he hit it, I don't know. We're doing a Sun King electronics, and we're doing the Shred It that you'll see in the paperwork tonight. We ordered our sign out front. We talked with the electrician, and there was a little setback on the amount to do it the right way, and it was like $24,000. So the highway guys, we just pulled the wires for it today. The conduit actually runs over the electric service that goes out and feeds the pole barn, so if we go to a bigger service or something bigger, or the pole barn comes down directly underneath the conduit, we can swing the conduit up, but we ran them a 3-inch conduit over for the charging stations when they go in, so they can still adapt to the highway garage and when they get it off of the pole barn there where the service, but, you know, we did it for a couple thousand compared to what it was gonna cost us, so we did that. We'll have it all ready to go for them. That's it.
And that work basically services 3 projects, right? You're setting up for EV, setting up for that sign, and setting up for potential fuel tanks as well. So it's kind of not, we're just doing it for one thing, it's setting it up.
No, but we brought the power back to the pole barn for the signs, but if we expand any further, using the service that comes off of the meter. Oh, the other thing was, to use a meter, we would use off the transformer off the front of the highway garage. And what we did was, we kinda almost dug through the service for the feeds out there. So I called up the village and asked them, because we couldn't figure out how the barn was fed. So, there's times that we dig on people's property, private property, and 811 only covers to the right of way. And there's times we go in further. So, I put in for purchase a locator, which we could do locate gas, with tracer wire, we can locate water, we can locate electricity. So if there's, you know, out in this parking lot, for instance, they don't locate this for us. We have to hire a private company to do it. We'll still call 811, but this locator now, we can say clip onto the wire on the light pole out there and take the locator and locate exactly, you know, in the parking lot where the wire runs, which I think for $4,700, it's well worth it for if there's any kind of work or, you know, that we do, you know, because we hit someone's service and out.
You couldn't spend that anyway.
We just spent it, we just blew that money away. And I remember us digging one pipe over on Stony Point, and we dug right alongside electrical service, whenever it was there. And we did the stakeout, but we were back our drainage in our easement, and we were going through, and we never was there, so. it'd be a benefit and helping, a tool to help us out.
Hey, Dan, regarding the accident, first of all, were there any injuries? Is our employee okay?
Yes.
Secondly, do we know, was it mechanical error? Is it operator error? Is it still under investigation? And how much is it gonna cost?
Right now, it's $10,000. There's substantial damage to the front end of the truck. So,
Do we know if it was was it?
no,
Okay,
it was not, I wouldn't say it wasn't paying attention.
okay.
The light pole's right in front of you and you're driving, so.
That shredded, Dan, is that just for the highway department records, or is that gonna be a program
Hey,
for
we
the?
don't shred off stuff. No, the shredded is for, it's for the town. It'll be for town people,
Oh,
Town
okay.
event.
along with the electronics. It'll be, we just did the hazardous waste,
Right.
last week, and then 2 weeks it's the
Electronic.
electronics, and then another 2 weeks it's the hazard, or the shredding,
Great.
so.
I presumed it was, but I just wanted to ask.
Nope, it's for
Yeah.
any town resident. We just, we post in the paper, it'll be in this week's paper, West Side News, and then we'll, keep track of it. We put our Facebook page and everything else, so. That's it.
Very good, thank you. Noel Burley, Town Clerk.
No report.
Thank you, ma'am. Dan Shum, Town Attorney.
Number of things the last couple of weeks. Did some final correspondence and communication concerning, you may recall that there was initially on Kingsford Lane, a clubhouse proposed, and the board, through the process of public hearings or public comments in any event, decided that it was not necessary and was assisting the developer in returning that parcel actually to a building lot, so that it could be used for that purpose. Otherwise, it just would sit there with a rotting foundation in the ground. Also, we collected some money on a lien release for some property on Helmar Drive. The Highway Department did work on the property. We filed a lien, and the property was about to be transferred, and strangely enough, we got the money. So, we have to continue to follow through where we do work, and if it's not added to the tax bill, that we engage my office to file those liens against the property. As Supervisor mentioned, there is a MOU between the town and the school for shared use of facilities during emergency situations. I think it's a great thing to have, and it's a very flexible document in terms of where the shared services would be used at either the school or the town. There is a resolution tonight for the IMA between the county and the town for the records software for the police records. Moving forward with the Ogden Baptist Cemetery, the discussion initially was for the town to take over that property, but it comes to be that there's, I believe they now indicate 11 open plots in that cemetery, and they haven't had a burial in there since the 80s, so the question of whether or not they're ever going to have any other burials there is probably problematic, because it's used for that church only. And there is an alternative that's being reviewed that we, the town, have the authority under the town law to assist private cemeteries in the maintenance, and that may be, that's all they're really looking for, is some help to keep the cemetery looking good and available. And it seems like that might be the better approach, since it would not involve us taking over the cemetery, managing the cemetery, but just assisting. Strangely enough, yesterday at 4 o'clock, I got a call from someone in, I think her title is a vice president, Ellicott Development, wanting to know about dedicating the sewer. And she said, we have a meeting coming up, and I said, I think it's this Thursday, actually. So I sent her the letter that I had sent back in December, and I told her that I had attended at least 2 other meetings where they promised to have that all done. And it appears that at least 3 out of the 5 items that we needed have been completed. They've got to revise the as-bills. They forgot to put part of the sanitary sewer easement that actually connects Walgreens to the main line, and revise the easement that they have recorded, but we do have their attention, so that's good. And as Mike mentioned, the IMA, I think, is in its final stages between the village and the town for the shared highways historian services. That's it.
Very good, thank you. There being no other unfinished business, let's move into new business. Madam Clerk, whenever you are ready.
Resolution 184, approving the town of Ogden's continued membership of the County of Monroe's Consolidated Plan Consortium.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Tom, seconded by Councilman Baker. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next, please.
Resolution 185, authorizing an agreement between the town of Ogden and Spencerport Central School District regarding the town's use of the SCSD fueling facility.
I'll move that.
Second?
Moved by Councilman Gerbino, seconded by Councilman Hinman. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next, please.
Resolution 186, authorizing an agreement between the town of Ogden and Stericycle, Inc. for the provision of document shredding services at the Ogden Highway Facility.
So moved. Second?
Moved by Councilman Baker, seconded by Councilman Toms. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item carries. Next, please.
Resolution 187, authorizing an agreement between the town of Ogden and Sun King for the provision of removal and recycling services for end-of-life electronics and equipment.
I'll move that.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Hinman, seconded by Councilman Gerbino. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next, please.
Resolution 188, authorizing a budget transfer to account for expenses associated with a new town sign and a highway garage door repair.
So moved.
A second.
Moved by Councilman Gerbino, seconded by Councilman Hinman. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next, please.
Resolution 189, approving the hiring and rehiring of individuals as recreation attendants in the Parks and Recreation Department.
So moved.
Second?
Moved by Councilman Gerbino, seconded by Councilman Hinman. Any discussion? I just wanted to state my interest. My cousin's daughter is one of these people. I had no hand in the application, approval, review, or any part of this process whatsoever, but regardless, I will be abstaining. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I abstain. Any opposed? Item carries 4-0 plus 1. Next item, please.
Resolution 190, authorizing the purchase of IT equipment and designating the use of ARPA funds as part of the Ogden server/storage replacement project, and authorizing Ogden Town Supervisor Mike Sale to enter into agreements in conjunction with this project.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Tom, seconded by Councilman Baker. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next, please.
Resolution 191, authorizing Ogden Town Supervisor Mike Sale to execute an intermunicipal agreement by and between the County of Monroe and the Town of Ogden concerning sharing of the automated field reporting software system for law enforcement records management and for law enforcement records management.
Also moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Hinman, seconded by Councilman Gerbino. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next, please.
Resolution 192, adopting the updated 2023 Town of Ogden purchasing policy.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Tom, seconded by Councilman Gerbino. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Nice work,
Resolution
Brian.
Sorry.
I was just saying, nice work to Brian. Thanks.
Resolution 193, adopting the revised version of the Town of Ogden Personnel Handbook
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Hinman, seconded by Councilman Gerbino. Any discussion?
I think it was mentioned prior to the meeting starting or in the pre-meeting, but both resolutions 192 and 193 are great items to have updated, and commending the people behind getting those all done and on the book. So I just wanted to say that from my point of view as the town attorney, that these are great additions to the town's performance in the future.
Thank you. I'd also like to add that the plan as it stands right now is to actually add these to the organizational meeting so that we are approving them and reapproving them annually, and that any additions or subtractions from that would come in front of the board prior to for review on a regular basis instead of waiting decades.
Nice.
Thank you for that. Next, please.
194, resolution 194 authorizing a budget amendment in accordance with the 2022 Town of Ogden audit.
So moved?
Second.
Moved by Councilman Tom, seconded by Councilman Baker. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next, please.
Resolution 195 authorizing an amendment to resolution 327-12.14.22 regarding funds levied and collected for the repair and improvement of town roadways by the Town of Ogden Highway Department.
So moved.
Second?
Moved by Councilman Baker, seconded by Councilman Toms. Any discussion on this? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Item carries. I'm going to make a motion that we move to work session. I need a second.
Second.
Second by Councilman Toms. All those in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. We are adjourned to work session. I would like